Hello everybody, welcome to episode 113 of Show For You, where today we'll be going over episode 6 of Daemons of the Shadow Realm. And this episode starts off with Yuru missing his attempted shot that he was beginning to make last episode. And in this we see as they continue to kind of flee from the yin and yang beasts. And with this, it ultimately leads to Yuru and Asa actually being captured by this beast. And so then we get a perspective of Asa as she's enshrouded in darkness, and we learn that she has a perpetual fear of darkness because of her time imprisoned in Higashi village. Not really imprisoned, but held captive in a way. But yeah, so we see this, and then we see that Right, or the guardian of the Right, was imprisoned in here with her. So where he decided to go in there with her. And so we see as they discuss, and Right reveals that Asa is his natural enemy, and that he is her natural enemy. And we learn that this is due to the fact that he has the ability to negate Break, and Break is her ability that she acquired, well, was, I guess, bestowed because of her nature of being the twin of light. And so we see this briefly discuss this, and then they mention how, because of this, then Left is the natural enemy of Yuru and can break seal. So we then go to a perspective of Yuru and Left as they are training because Yuru is confused about why his shot missed. And so we see their training, and it's kind of a little goofy scene where Yuru ends up hitting Left like twice in the head with arrows, but she's made of stone, obviously, so or of the same durability as stone, so it doesn't really harm her. Yeah. Then after that, we see as Asa and Right are actually able to break out of the Yin and Yang beast because of her ability Break. Because talking about this made her realize, oh, I can just choose Break to get out of here. She chooses Break, and she escapes. And so then after that, after the pair escapes, we see as then Asa uses Break on the Yin and Yang beast to break its connection to its owner, or master. And then we see as Asa then takes out a vial of blood, or her blood, which they previously used to lure in Yuru, wipes it on the beast, and then it becomes its new master. So I guess we learned that in this episode that the beast, or not the beast, but the daemon, I don't know why I'm saying the beast, but yeah, that daemons can change masters after their master's connection with them has been broken or their master has been killed via the, I guess, contact of blood with their new master. I don't really know how that works. But yeah, so we see as this happens, and then she's like, demands the Yin and Yang daemon to remove Yuru and Left from their imprisonment, essentially. And so this ends up happening, and then we see as things start to play out around the mansion more and more. Now, actually, one of the things that we learned prior to this in kind of a brief dialogue section from Jin was that the name of the master of the head of the Kagomori clan is Natsuki. So we do know that now, even though it's not super important or anything like that, but we did learn that his name is Natsuki, so we actually know what to call him now, and when we refer to him. But yeah, so we see that, and then as everything starts to break out around the mansion, we see as people are going around slamming each other out. The daemon wielders are honestly dealt with very easily. We see as Yuru's up top, gaining aura by just sniping people. We see as Jin, Haro, and the other bald goon, whatever his name is, are going around and killing people with their abilities. We actually see Jin. Honestly, Jin had so much aura in this episode because though he was injured, he was still walking around and slamming individuals with like peak tier perception. I mean, he was predominantly using Eye, yes, but like I am Makoto. There's this one scene where he uses Makoto to draw a gun from the side of his head and pops this dude in the back of the head. Sick scene. We also see as Gabi is still facing the two demons we saw in the previous episode with Gabriel at her side. So we see as she actually has one of their heads stuck within Gabriel's teeth and it's trying to like lick at her and stuff like that. And then she uses Gobble, crushes its head, and this is actually the first daemon death we see in the entire series. And then we see as she then proceeds to kill the other daemon. But yeah, so we see all this. We see, like I said, we see as Yuru is on top of the building and is just sniping around, getting people as easily as he can and stuff like that. And we do actually see that he is a very qualified archer, and we see as Asa is obviously glazing him because that's her, I guess, predisposition towards Yuru. And so we see kind of see as that plays out. And ultimately, it leads to everyone being essentially defeated, all the daemons being defeated, and then we see as the previous owner of the Yin and Yang daemon is to be interrogated. So we see as and he specifically was meant to be interrogated because we realized here that his ability is actually to make people disappear, essentially, because he can send them to that realm within the Yin and Yang beast of either darkness or light. And so he has the ability to make people disappear. So he was specifically interrogated because they had questions about if he could possibly be the one who captured or caused Yudu and Asa's parents to disappear. So we see as he's interrogated, he reveals that he actually does not know anything about this, and how he was recruited by a dude in camo, which the bald goon killed at the gate prior during the fighting and all of that, which was actually a really cool scene because we see as he's like running up to the gate and he's trying to get out. He's like, I can't get out, and then we see as the bald dude's like, I know he has a name, but I just can't remember his name for some reason. It's not mentioned a lot. I think the only thing that was mentioned this episode, I believe it was mentioned last episode, but I don't remember it. And we see his Daemon, which is like the massive Daemon, and its eye is the gate, and that's why he couldn't get through. And then we see he walks around with warps, bro, with a crowbar. But yeah, so they're interrogating the previous owner of the Yin and Yang Daemon, and he reveals that he doesn't really know much anything. We see is actually he's being tortured by Torty, which is Haru's tortoise Daemon, and he's torturing him by crushing like down on his legs and like quads and stuff like that, and it is working very effectively. But this dude reveals that he doesn't really know anything. So ultimately, they end up turning to the other Daemon users that like, we don't know anything either. And then Asa's like, okay, I have one last question for you. What is the name of the Yin and Yang Daemon? And he's like, I didn't give it a name. It was just a beast to be controlled and used whenever I saw fit. And so this obviously kind of enrages them a little bit. And then they turn to the other ones, and they're like, we named our Daemons and stuff like that. And even like the little Daemons they captured, there's like a fox and something like that. We're like nodding. So that's a goofy little scene. But yeah, so that was what really happened with that, because the interrogation didn't go too deep. We just saw as he revealed that he didn't really know much, and that they saw that they had actually killed the leader of the expedition in their initial battle. But yeah, I thought that really was for episode 6 of Daemons of the Shadow Realm. It was a really great episode, honestly, because we got a lot of information that we didn't know prior, and a lot of like presumptive stuff. So yeah, I'm really ready to see where it plays out, because I don't believe those mercenaries were sent by Higashi Village. And during the time when Yudu was actually sniping from above, we get to see this dude who had like 2 katanas just chilling in like the woods near the area. So and he never got killed, never got captured. So I'm really ready to see what he was doing, because he was smart enough to know, if I go out here, Yudu's gonna snipe me, so I'm not going out. So I'm ready to see how that plays out. I'm ready to see who this dude is, because I don't believe they're with Higashi Village. I just can't believe that for some reason, because like I would expect that we at least saw one person from Higashi Village. We know, yes, we didn't really encounter anyone in Higashi Village when we were there for just like one episode, but still, I would have expected we saw at least one familiar face from Higashi Village, and we didn't see any. So I'm really curious where these like mercenary hate groups are coming from. But yeah, like I said, that's all it really was for episode 6 of Daemons in the Shadow Realm. That's all I really have for episode 113 of Shelf Reviews. Thank you very much for watching.